Birthday girl. Good morning, sunshine. Time to wake up. I open my eyes and see Nurse Judy, ready to give me my morning injection. I sit on the bed and roll up my pajama sleeve. I feel the needle under my skin and the medication flowing inside my veins. The nurse gives me a wide smile. Good girl. You can go to the canteen now and have breakfast with your friends. Friends? I don't have friends here. My friends are almost 60 miles away from me. Enjoying life, learning new stuff, making out at parties, and certainly not spending their youth in a psychiatric ward. My parents put me there. It was after another anxiety attack at school. I lost control and tried to do something stupid. Now everything seems stupid to me. I pass by Nutsy Nora's room. Her yelling is impossible to ignore. She keeps screaming Kelly and Jenna over and over again, whatever these names mean. I see 2 doctors rushing to her room with a set of tranquilizers. This place is full of people like her. I don't think I belong here. I enter the canteen and hear a loud surprise. I look around and see other patients gathered around a cake with number candles 1 and 7 and an inscription. Happy birthday, Robin. I totally forgot. It's my 17th birthday. I force myself to smile and blow the candles. The cake tastes like soap. Or cough syrup. I hide both candles in my pocket when nobody's watching. I guess it's the only gift I can count on today. I stop one of the nurses on the way back to my room. I ask if my parents are going to see me. She shrugs, then walks away without saying a word. Bitch. As I lay in bed, I stretch my arms and look at my hands. They look so weird. So weird. Maybe it's a side effect of one of those medications. Nurse Judy interrupts my contemplation. She storms in with an afternoon dosage of pills. How are you feeling, my dear? Did you like the birthday surprise? She asks, with an annoyingly sweet smile. Yeah, I forgot today's the day. She takes my hand and says, oh, don't worry, darling. It happens to everybody. As she holds my hand, I ask her why my skin looks so strange. Nurse Judy gives me a sympathetic gaze. I think it's normal at your age, don't you think, sweetie? Is she trying to make a fool of me? Oh, I've had enough. But I'm only 17, I said. I don't know any other teenager with hands like these. Just look. I take the candles out of my pocket and almost rub them in her face. You see, 1 and 7. 17, I bellow. Judy gently takes the candles from my shaking hands. Robin, it's not 17. Let me show you the right order. It's 7 and 1. 71. The Six-Fingered Man. It was the first day of kindergarten. I had been swinging, kicking my legs up as high as I could, and curling them back towards me as I came down. I wanted to go higher than Beckham. He was a show-off. I was inches from beating him, up in the air with my ponytail flying, and my eyes towards the sky. As the swing jolted backwards, and my eyes hit the tree line surrounding the playground, I saw the Six-Fingered Man. I was excited to see him there. Usually he was just outside of my house, but he had come to see me at school. Maybe because my mom had been so rude to him last week. I had drawn a picture of him in a field of flowers and I wanted to show him, but my mom wouldn't let me go outside. I taped it to my window instead. On my way back up, I waved at him. He didn't move. He never did. All I could see were his hands, clasped casually over his waist. He always stood in the shade. I think he is allergic to the sun. A couple weeks later, a policeman came to our school. He was talking about strangers. I thought about the Six-Fingered Man. I didn't know his name, but I knew him. I stuck my lip out and pondered this for a minute. Eventually, I concluded that I would simply have to learn his name. That day when my mom drove me home, I pressed my hands against the car window to check the wooded area next to my neighbor's house. He was there. I grinned. When my mom parked the car, I jolted out of the back seat and ran towards him. He stood, as always, still under the cover of oak trees. My mom screamed out my name, but I would just deal with getting in trouble later. She'd see how nice he was, and she'd understand. But as I got closer, I noticed that, although I couldn't see his face, his eyes were catching the sun. Reflective. I slowed down a little. About 10 feet away, I could see that he actually was moving, twitching his whole body. I stopped in my tracks. Hello, I said shyly. His ticking body started to move, growing taller and thinner. The 6th finger on his left hand started growing longer, into a claw. I turned to run, heading towards my mother's stricken face, but the claw reached around my belly and pulled me back into the woods. All I heard after was, hello. Window. This is my first year in college. Time to discover myself without the constant hovering of my brothers. Both of them went to college too close to home to justify spending money on dorms. Not me though. I picked a college that I knew would give me the freedom to live away from my family. Don't get me wrong, I love them and call them almost every day, but being the baby sister was starting to feel suffocating. My parents, being the amazing people they are, set me up with an apartment near campus. It's actually cheaper than living in residence, and I get to avoid the potential roommate disaster that a lot of my friends are going through. It's a cozy one-bedroom with a gorgeous view, and I couldn't be happier. Well, maybe I could. About a week ago I got woken up by a loud smack on my window. It sounded like something flew right into it, but nothing should have been out there in the middle of the night. I was too tired to question it, and wrote it off as either a dream or bad. Poor thing could have been sick. The next night I heard it again. This time it was 2 smacks instead of 1. I didn't bother getting up and looking. I was far too scared, and hid under the covers. I know, blankets can't protect you from the boogeyman and stuff, but it was comforting. I called my mom in the morning and she reassured me that it was probably a group of bats. I was skeptical, but moms can make anything sound convincing. Dad ended up driving down to visit me, and it took my mind off of all the stress. It's now been 6 nights and 7 days since I started hearing the sound. It's gotten worse each time, and it carries on longer. The smacks are accompanied by scratching sounds and the whole thing rattles. My brain is searching for every logical answer, but I can't find one. It's too hard to explain the handprints on the window. Oh, and by the way, I live on the 3rd floor. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give a big thumbs up and subscribe for more updates. Were you creeped out by any of these stories? If so, please comment and share your thoughts. Thanks again.